Now, when my mom had my sisters in the early 80s, I was barely a teenager anyway, yeah. And me and my stepbrothers with my mom helped potty train and, all that with my sister, right? Now, that I remember doing, right? I keep telling you that, right? Well, sometimes when changing a child's diaper, you stick out your tongue and play games with them, right? To entertain the child while changing their diaper or something. And that's what I'm talking about. If Amanda was to wake me up or not, what I might would do with her, but something that you can't even prove I did with her as well. Exactly. What I'm talking about. Okay, if she was to wake me up or not. So what I'm saying is she was 4. She was probably wearing panties and a t-shirt at 4, right? Probably potty trained to a point. But I also wouldn't know if she wandered in there what she was doing in there with me either. Right? So I gotta figure out what's going on. I keep telling you that too. I was asleep on the couch. If she woke me up or not. Or just went to sleep. Even that's just, Either way, it seems like a few seconds of time normally when you get to sleep anyway, or how long you're asleep. Normally, too, if you know what I mean, right? So if I wake up with her in there, whether it's a long time or a few minutes later or whatever it was, the actual timeline I don't recall, any real details except perhaps when it could happen, which was Thursday through Sunday night before I could move back to base. At the longest, or Thursday night if I was only around, or one day, or the whole weekend at the most, right? Which is, again, if I was there for the whole weekend, right? Until I got back on base, however long that took, right? See, I don't have no records from all that, right? Or clear memory either, right? So you're making me guess what we could have done. No. And accusing me of molesting her in the first place 11 years after me and my ex-wife divorced, and I went back to Georgia and she went to Arkansas or whatever, or stayed in Virginia a while, then went back to Arkansas herself, right? At the time. Didn't you wait till I get on YouTube and start singing and trying to teach vocals, right? Doing vocal lessons of impersonations of your favorite artists, which is how I kind of presented it, right? So anyway, I'm singing most of my songs a cappella without no musical instruments. So anyway, I'm just showing I can do a bunch of musical voices that I heard on the radio throughout the years. Stevie Wonder, whoever, right? So, like I said, right, that's part of all I'm doing there, right? Then this channel pops up calling itself Shame on You, Shane, right? And they started accusing me of molesting my stepdaughter about 6 months later, right? And again, that went on for until they got me kind of kicked off, which my first channel was called Shane Wasn't Lucky, right? Your typical YouTube channel at the time, right? They using my first name, right? Now it's Rob S. Lee, right? And that was in 2005, right? Now, you're being a jerk because you're coming into the conversation later on, and I'm wondering what the hell's wrong with you by now, right? You're just not listening to what I'm telling you is all that could have happened in any situation involving her or not, right? In the worst or best case scenario, right? And knowing the wife was there the whole time, right? That's all I can tell you. Anything more, you're making up yourself or has to do with someone else personally, and I don't know what they're talking about, right? And I can't control what other human beings do in a position of power, but I still wasn't the one in the position of power, right? I was trying to help my stepdaughter if she was to wake me up or not. For whatever reason, she might have wake me up, and there's only 4 late at night that a child will wake you up. Something to drink, something to eat, pee or take a bath, usually are the four main reasons, right? Or go to the bathroom, especially if you're in the living room, right? And then you would assume she must want you to pull down her panties or something, because she is four, right? So she should be kind of potty trained at least, right? And know how to use the toilet by then, right? And like I keep telling you, there's a reason I'm making all this up, because that's as brief of an interaction as we would have had as well. No. That don't take long, dummy. And you wouldn't even remember that if it happened or not, usually. And it's no big deal either, right? But the problem comes when 11 years later someone's trying to accuse me of molesting her and I got a stepdaughter, period, because I married a woman with a child before I met her. Right? Okay. Can't change that either, right? Though I didn't try to look at that as a negative, but again, now something's going crazy on her with the boy she told me was my son the whole time. Even the government confirmed it with a DNA test. That's super crazy, government. And see, I'm the one left confused and not sure what the hell you even do with me. And you're all acting batshit to me. Crazy. And no one seems to know how to communicate or listen to one another. And I see y'all going to war and all this crap. And you got nuclear weapons now, which you can blow the world up 4 times over with just the weapons in America alone. Let alone Russia. They could probably blow it up 7,000 times compared to us. But guess what, Russia? You be dead too, idiots. You die too, you nuclear dumbasses. It'll kill you too. You can't blow up a third of the world, America itself, alone, even, and not mess up your environment and kill yourself. It's too big of a nation, idiot. There'll be nothing left of you either. The biggest deterrent of nuclear warheads is no one will survive for long. It's supposed to be, right? That's why they were only going to drop 2, no more than 3 on Japan anyway. But again, it probably shouldn't have even been 1, 2, or 3, but 1 or 2. Right? But they did it anyway, right? But we can't do nothing about the past but learn from it, not to repeat it. That's all you can do anyway. Most normal people try to learn from the past and try not to repeat it unless it's just something you want to ignore, and then you're just ignoring it, and then someone else can see it, and then you're just arguing with them about it because you don't want to see it still. That don't mean I'm crazy because I understand something you don't want to understand. I keep trying to explain to you, you just keep turning a blind eye to it, right? The Bible talks about that too. Some people have blinded eyes, meaning they can see something but they won't see it. Deaf ears, meaning they can hear something but they won't hear it. And lack of comprehension of what's being said as well. Meaning they won't understand it finally, right? But that's all you can do, right, is try to get someone to see, hear, and then understand what's being said, right? If they refuse to, you gotta let them be dealt with however they're dealt with. Whatever they're doing wrong themselves, they'll eventually be caught in their own loop or caught in their own problem, right? Especially if they're doing something criminal, right? And then they're gonna be punished for their own crimes one day, right? But you don't try to do the same crimes they're accusing you of doing, and even a 15-year-old is illegally working in Georgia in a nail salon. They can't even start the tech job until they're 16. I keep telling you that. That job, you gotta be 16 to even start, right? Though there are jobs you can do at 15 and 14, but they're, again, with permission and knowledge of the school. The girls going out to are supposed to be going out to, right? And you have to have that slip on the job premises so that if someone was to come by and make sure you had it, you got it. Right? Like the police or something. Right? See, because if you're working a 15-year-old girl in a nail salon, you could be charged with working a minor. That's too young to do the job yet. Just like you can't be a bartender until you're 18, you can't work as a nail tech in Georgia until you're 16, right? I keep telling you that too, and that keeps going over your head. I don't know where you're getting your ideas from, but it ain't Georgia law, so you're not in San Francisco, you're not in New York, you're not in New Jersey, you're in Georgia, boy. You better learn our rules, or you're playing the fool. That's all I got to say. That's what I'm trying to teach you too. You can't let a 15-year-old walk over a 50-year-old man who don't know she's 15 because she can't have me 15 when I go into the store because that's a crime. No. And then you try to cover someone else's butt. If I go into the store and meet her or not, right? And she's supposed to have the paperwork on the premises if she's 15 and working anyway. No. And at least her birth certificate to work in Georgia, right? Because she has to have proof she's a citizen to work in Georgia too, right? So you can't just work in any place you want to work without proper ID or credentials either. I'm not sure she don't need a social security card either, whether you're paying her or not. It's relevant, right? You're trying to train her, right? As a nail technician, as an apprentice. And they got to do at least 620 hours. That's all I know about it, looking it up on the internet. Which I admit to. But I have been in more than one nail salon because I'm a 50-year-old man. In fact, Catherine Stevens, when I was working around her, one of her businesses was changing to a nail salon. And guess who did the nails? The women. Guess who ran the store? The men. Right? If there's a man in the store, he was somewhere else in the store, and I didn't see him downstairs. And he was upstairs. Hiding, maybe, or in his office. And all I can do is ask for proof. And take her to the bathroom or something. If she's 15 or not. If she wants to go with me, right? Now, a 37-year-old woman can have sex with anyone, but a 15-year-old girl can't, right? She's not even supposed to be working yet. And you know what I mean. Get over it. Make her go home. That's all you got to do. Too, if she's not supposed to be working. And again, right, you banned me from the store. That could mean you knew more than you wanted to say. You didn't want to do the right thing yourself, and then that's why whatever happened between me and her happened between me and her, and it's your fault too. Stop doing something wrong. You ain't got to worry about the consequences of your wrong actions, right? Yourself. I know. That's all I got to tell you, and I shouldn't have had to tell you that in the first place. But if I do, I will again, right? Get it through your thick skull, right? She's a minor. She can't do that particular job because she's got to deal with cuticles. And that's part of why they don't want children under 16 messing with all that stuff yet. Yeah. Because you can get an infection and all that, right? Right. Either the client or even the person doing the nails, right? I know. Yeah. See, that's called a hazard they don't want the child exposed to yet, right? Especially if still in the 10th grade or high school, right? And not quite old enough yet. And all she would have had to wait is a year. If she wasn't in there, she wouldn't have been tempted by me and again, right? That's the point, right? Mm-hmm. And we wouldn't have had to discuss it now, would we? And the first thing I asked her was her age, and she said 37, and again, right, started acting weird, and I lost some time around her too, and then she started doing my nails back again, and lost some more time around, and started doing my nails again. Lost some more time around, then finished with my nails, and then I finally paid and left. And gave her a little tip of $3, right? And I ain't forgot a damn thing, right? But as soon as I got out, I realized I had also missed my movie I was trying to see after I got my nails done, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure my thing with someone who was saying they were 37, you know. That's the problem too, right? A 15-year-old can't even have sex in the store, but she's supposed to have proof she's got permission to work, right? And the only place she can get that is her school, right? And she's also supposed to be in school and not working in a nail tech, right? As a nail technician, yeah. She can't trade that for something else, right? Even if it's her own dad working her, hypothetically, right? You understand? She can't trade one education for Georgia education. She got to be going in school until she's 16 anyway. So she still had at least a year of school left, too. So she should have either been in a private school or a public school by then. Plus, it was November. So he should have been in school, too. And could have easily got permission if, again, they would allow her to even work that job. And that's what I'm saying. They might not would have even allowed her to work that job because they would tell her, too, she's got to start at 16. Are you listening so far?